8.5. We're going to add polynomials or rational functions together. But first of all, let's kind of look at this question. Easy one. You already learned this in 3rd grade. 1/8 plus 1/4. What do you need to do to add them together? The denominator has to be the same, right? So you have to find a common denominator. So what is the least common denominator for 8 and 4? 8. So what do I need to do on that 4? Not just 2, right? We need to multiply by 2/2. Okay, so this is a kind of a key because there's a lot of similarity between what we're going to do here and the rational function. Okay, we're going to multiply by 2/2. So this is 1/8 plus 2/8. And then what do? Add what? Numerator only, right? The denominator we don't do anything about. We don't make it into 16. Okay, so that's that. Now let's look at this question. 1/3 plus 1/3x plus 5/x. What is the least common denominator? 3x. So just let's write it on the side. Least common denominator is 3x. Okay, so the fraction on the left, does it need anything? No, it already has 3x. What does the one on the right need? 3. So what do I need to do? Multiply by 3/3. So this becomes 1/3x plus 15/3x. That is 16/3x. So far, so good. Easy. Okay, now let's look at doing them with polynomial. And I think I made a typo, so this question becomes really hard to do. Okay, let me change this question. Okay, so let's change this question to a plus. I think it'll be easier to do with a plus. Yes. Okay, so change it to a plus. We're going to add these two together. So, just like before, we need a common denominator. On the left, we have an x plus 1. On the right, we have an x squared plus 3x plus 2, which we don't know what it really is, so we need to factor. All right, so first thing is always factor, factor, factor. All right, now let's look at these two denominators. What is the least common denominator that is shared between the two of them? X plus 2, x plus 1. Okay, the least common denominator that is shared between both of them is x plus 2, x plus 1. Okay, so what does the one on the left need? X plus 2. Okay, so we're going to multiply the left by, okay, it'll get there. Oh, there you go. Okay, x plus 2 over x plus 2. Does the one on the right need anything? No. Okay, so at this point, we want to just multiply the numerator or simplify the numerator and then simplify this whole thing. Okay, so this becomes x squared plus 2x, and then the denominator is x plus 1 times x plus 2. The one on the right does not change. All right, what do we do next? Combine them together. X squared plus 2x plus 2x minus 1 all over x plus 1 times x plus 2. I forgot one thing. From the very beginning, you should write the restriction just so that you don't forget what x cannot equal to. So what does x not equal to? -1, -2. Did I do this right? Okay. Sorry. Okay, so this is x squared plus 4x minus 1 over x plus 1, x plus 2. Can I factor the numerator anymore so that things can cancel? No. Okay, so we're done. Okay, one thing to mention about the way you write things. Okay, so this is going to be the most fundamental algebra class. So this is kind of the foundation for your math later on. This is the point where if you don't have good math skills, like just good math habits, later on it will become very hard for you to solve anything. First of all, notice how I always write vertically. I always go down this way. I don't go left and right and back and forth. It's too confusing. Second, notice how I rewrite the whole thing over and over and over again. Instead of saying, oh, this is too long, I don't want to write this thing again, I'm going to skip steps. Or a lot of people do this like factoring on the side, LCD on here, and then like left and right, and your paper looks so messy. Eventually, you can't figure out what you did. I cannot figure out what you did. We are both stuck. So to maintain good math habits, write everything over and over and over and over again until you solve the whole thing. Okay? If you don't do that, it becomes harder and harder for you to do math later on. Okay, so at this point, if I see your paper, your homework, you have things all over the place, I will tell you to do your homework again because it's too messy. All right, let's look at this next one. Again, factor, factor, factor. X plus 1 over x minus 1 plus minus 2 over x times x minus 1. Okay, let's have you talk to your partner. What is the least common denominator? You guys are very funny. When I tell you to talk to your partner, you're like, x times x minus 1. Just like talking to yourself. Okay, thank you. Yes, LCD is x times x minus 1. All right, before we forget this time, what is the restriction? What can x not equal to? 1 and 0. Okay, so it is the LCD. All right, so what does the one on the left need to have the least common denominator? X. So we're going to multiply this by x. I think you guys can solve this one. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and have you actually, let's do this together. This is x squared plus x over x times x minus 1 plus minus 2 over x times x minus 1. Okay, this is now x squared plus x minus 2 over x times x minus 1. Can I factor the numerator? Yes, we can factor. The numerator becomes x plus 2, x minus 1. Okay, can we simplify that? Yes. Okay, so the most simplified form is x plus 2 over x. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, let's have you try this one. So you want to factor, look at what is the LCD and write the restriction first before you continue. Okay, let me know when you're done. Okay, first, factor. All right, LCD. That is going to be 2x, x minus 2. So x is not equal to 0 or 2. Okay, so pretty much everybody got that part. Okay, so this part is missing a 2, this part is missing an x, and then from this point on, we have different answers. Okay, on the left, it's pretty easy. Just make sure you multiply through. On the right, I'm going to not change that negative first, but make sure you distribute, so that is x squared plus 2x. All right, this is where it can start breaking down. First, you need to make sure your negative is distributed to everything. If you didn't, obviously things are going to be very different. So this is 2x plus 4 minus x squared minus 2x. Okay, if you didn't get that, please fix it, and then I'm going to check back in about 15 seconds or so. All right, as you can see, the two x's are going to cancel. We have a 4 minus x squared over 2x times x minus 2. All right, what can we do to simplify this? Factor? How do we factor?
Take the x squared on the left side and take out the...
Yes, okay, yeah. So like what we talked about yesterday. So 4 minus x squared. We can switch this to become negative times x squared minus 4. Okay, so this is negative x squared minus 4. Sorry, sit down. Okay, and then this becomes negative x plus 2, x minus 2 over 2x times x minus 2. All right, at this point you can cancel. Now we have an answer. Now let's talk about the interesting thing about this answer. So there are four common ways I see people write this answer. Only a few ways are correct. So let's talk about the differences. First one, this thing. Second one, this. Third, this, oops. And then fourth, this. Okay, talk to your partner. Which one is the correct answer, or which ones are the correct answers? Let's vote. Only one of them is wrong. Okay, which one is wrong? Number 1, raise your hand. Number 2, raise your hand. What's this? Well, number 3, raise your hand. Number 4, raise your hand. Okay, you guys are awesome. Number 3 is wrong. Now, what happens is I see a lot of people do this, actually what happens is they meant to do this, but their negative was so high that it looks like this. And then I'm confused, you're confused, and then if you have a following step, you got really confused where that negative is. So I just don't write it this way at all, because I get confused and I don't want to get confused. So if I were to do that, I would put a parenthesis so then I'm not confused. All right, next thing. Again, with your partner. Let's say I do have something like this. Okay. My question is this correct? Talk to your partner. Let us vote. How many people think this is correct? This is the correct way to do it. How many people think this is the wrong way to do it? Okay, good. This is the wrong way to do it, but some of you may say like, what? Why not? I have a negative, I can give it to both. No, what happens is if you give it to both, you have two negatives. Two negatives make a positive, right? You didn't change it at all. You didn't make anything negative. So this is like the basic algebra lesson. From this point on, please don't make this mistake. This is rookie mistake on algebra. Okay, so don't make this kind of mistake anymore with writing the negatives or with figuring out where the negative goes. Okay, let's have you do one more, and then you can start on homework. This next one.